Hi everyone, it's Carol here from thestampingground.co.uk, and today I'm using the sweet little stocking stamp set and the stocking dies, and I've made these two cute little cards with an inscription inside. They measure 4x4. I've been looking at this stamp set since I received the catalogue, and I just thought I have to get this. I need to make some Christmas cards with this set. So these are the first two, and I will be making many more, so do come back and have a look. So I'll just show you quickly the stamp set. As you can see, there are a few stockings, inscriptions, cat, dog, and I think it's a little hamster. There's presents, candy canes, just everything to make some lovely cards. The die cuts, these two, this would make a lovely tag. It's a stitched one as well. The small one isn't stitched, but that will make a lovely tag as well. And you've got all your stocking dies, a star, holly, and the berries, the piece for the top of your stocking, just lots and lots of lovely dies. So again, I'm just going to quickly show you the designer series paper. There are two each of these papers that I'm going to show you. These stockings here, you can cut all of them out with the dies from the die set. I'll just show you this one. As you can see, it fits perfectly over, and this is the one that I'm going to use in the cards today. Some cute little dogs and cats with reindeer antlers, and you can cut all these out, put them on your cards, and then I'll quickly turn over and show you the other side. And there's some lovely patterns as well. This is a lovely stars, stripes. So there's 12 sheets in all, and two pieces of each one. So we need a piece of cardstock measuring 8x4 and scored at 4. I'll just give it another, oops. And then a piece measuring 3 3/4 inch square. And this is a Mossy Meadow. And I'm actually going to use the blending brush and evening evergreen, and I'm just going to add a little bit of colour to this. I'm just going around the edges, so just in circular motion. I'll just turn it round and carry on, and it does. I don't think it actually shows up on the camera, but it when it's finished, it actually looks velvety. And if you didn't want to do this, you can actually put it straight onto to the card, but it does add something to it. Now I'm going to cut two of these stockings out. So when you're cutting, when you're actually going for in the middle, try not to cut through any of the other stockings, because you can actually use those on other cards. So I just cut this one out. And that's the die for it, and I'm using the mini cut and emboss machine, which is great to have on your desktop, because it folds away, and it's only tiny as well, but fits so many dies. And I always do it the wrong way around. I always have it up, not upside down, but I usually go backwards with it. So just add washi tape or a piece of sticky note paper. So we need two of these. I'll just pop that to one side. Now we're going to stamp a few of the items that we need. So I'm going to use black memento ink and some scrap pieces of white cardstock. And we'll just stamp everything that's needed. Now, not to save time, but we might as well do all the stamping at once. So all the measurements and everything I've used you'll find over on my blog, which is thestampingground.co.uk, and you'll find the link to my blog and everything else in the description bar below. So we'll do the little dog, and then there's a cat. And a hat. And then we need some candy canes. I actually stamped 3, but we actually only need 2. And then the inscription on one of the cards, I'm using the Evening Evergreen, and it's just says Christmas greetings. And I think that's all the stamping. Now for the cat and dog's face, I didn't want lots of colour. I'm using the light crumb cake in the Stampin' Blends pen. And I'm just going round the edge, really. Not a lot of colour, but I just think for what I wanted, it was just enough. And then we're going to colour the dog's face as well. I mean, there's lots and lots of colours and blending that you can do on these characters, but I just wanted a subtle colour, really. So now I'm going to use the red Stampin' Blends pen for the hat. And because they're only small images, I'm actually using the thin end rather than the brush end, just so that it's easier than to keep in the lines, really. And I'm going to use the light and dark polished pink. And this is for the present. I'm just going to use alternate stripes. And then for the bow, I've used Smoky Slate. Is it Smoky Slate? Just let me have a quick look. Yeah, Smoky Slate, light and dark. Because I did put a little bit of shading on the bow. So rather than you have to watch me colour in this, I'm just going to whiz through quickly for you. So now I'm just going to cut this Christmas greeting out. I'm going to do it freehand, just cut around, just leaving a slight edge all around the wording. Whoops, I've just gone a little bit wonky there, so I'm just going to just trim a little bit more off. There we are. I'm just cutting these down so that I can get them through the emboss machine. Cut and emboss, sorry. So we just need to cut all these out with the dies. I'll just quickly show you one. I'm just going to cut the hat out. Just add a little bit of washi tape just to keep it in place. Whoops. And that unfortunately it shakes the camera. And there we are. There. Now we need to cut some holly and berries and 3 stars as well. Also a tag. And just be careful with, well, all these little ones, but especially the berries, it's very tiny. So once you've used it, I'd definitely pop it back straight away. So there's our tag. I've used Mossy Meadow for the holly, and we need 2 of those. 3 Magenta Madness stars. And for the berries, you can cut them out if you've got some red cardstock, or you can quickly take a red Stampin' Blends pen and just quickly give a little scribble and cut it out that way. And we need 2 of the berries. So we're going to take the front of our card along with the base, and we're going to add some liquid glue and stick this to the front. Now we're ready to attach everything, so we need to bring everything back. And first of all, I'd just like to place things onto the card the best I can, really, because obviously everything's not stuck down, just to see where I want it, how I'm going to attach it. So I'm just going to take those off and add some dimensionals to the back of this. And then we'll just pop this on the card. And then I'm just going to place the cat where I want him, and then add a dimensional to, I only need 1, just to the back, back of his head, and just pop him on an angle. And then I'll just add his hat with a tiny bit of liquid glue. So you only need a tiny bit at the bottom. There, don't you look sweet? So we're just going to add our inscription. I'm just going to pop a dimensional onto the end, each end, and then add it onto the card. There we are. Now we just need to add the holly. Just pop that in the wrong corner. And these are attached again with liquid glue. a little bit fiddly because they're very tiny. And just add the last of the berry. There. So all we have left to do on this card is to pop our inscription into the inside. So we have 2 pieces of cardstock, one measuring 3 3/4 by square, and the white one measures 3.5 inch square. And we're just going to attach this to the green one, to the mossy green, and then add our inscription. The inscription I'm using is Peace, Joy and Kisses, and then we also have a row of kisses as well. So I'm actually putting the 2 together, get them nice and straight, and then pick them up with your block. And I'm going to use Evening Evergreen. So just ink your stamp up and pop it in. I like to actually just on a piece of scrap paper, just to make sure everything's even before I stamp it here. So fairly central, and just stamp. And then we're going to attach this to the inside with some glue. So here's our first card finished, and I hope you agree. It's pretty cute. So the next one we're going to do, again, the same side card base, 8 inch by 4, and this time I'm going to use the Designer Series paper on the front. Now I've taken this from the Whimsy and Wonder, really because of the colour, but you could have listed it along with everything I've used on my blog, but you can use you could use one from the Stockings Designer Series paper. So we now need our little dog and the present and candy cane. I do apologise about the shaking of the camera. So we're going to pop the die over the little dog, and this time I'm actually going to use a piece of sticky note. It's not quite as sticky as the washi tape. And as you can see, I had to turn it round again and go backwards way with the machine. So there we are, there's our little dog, and I'm going to carry on cutting out, and I'll be back shortly. So here we are, we've cut, I've cut them all out, and we now need to assemble our card. So we're going to pop this on the front with some glue. And now we just need to add all our little pieces. So we need the dog, candy canes, and the present all attached together, which will make it easier when we're actually attaching it to the card. So just add all your pieces roughly how you would like them. So obviously we need to see the porcelain present and the little candy canes. And once you're happy with it, pick them up, and we're going to attach these with mini dots. So just add one. Well, it needs to be the front of the present. And then you can make sure that you can see the present above the dog's head, and then add the candy canes so that you can see those as well. And then just add your last candy cane. And you can, if you popped it in the wrong place like I did then, you can easily take it off. So I'm quite happy with that, so I will nearly happy. So we now need a dot onto the back of the dog and attach it to the stocking. There we are. Oops. So onto the back of this, we're going to add dimensionals again. And then just pop him onto the front of your card. So onto the back of your stars, just pop a mini dimensional. Now, I wasn't happy with the pink for the tag, so I cut another one out in white. So I wasn't happy with the Magenta Madness little tag, so I cut one out in white, and I'm just going to stamp the inscription that says "For You," and we're going to do that in black. Fairly high up on the tag, because I'm actually going to cut the tag down as well. I think it's a little bit too big for this stocking. It kind of covers the stocking up, so I'm just going to trim the bottom off. And that's better. So pop a dimensional onto the back of that and attach it to the stocking. And then I'm going to use a silver twine. It's called Simply Elegant Trim, and it comes in a pack of 2 in silver and gold, which is great for any time of year, but certainly good at Christmas. So just make a little bow. And then just trim the ends, and we're going to add it with a glue dot, but because the glue dot is round, what we're going to do is take one, and then we're actually going to roll it so that it rolls into like a cigar shape. And then pop your bow on top of that. There. And you can't see the mini dot underneath. So we're using Evening Evergreen again, and the inscription we're using is Santa Claus is coming to town. And the lovely inscriptions in this set. So attach all your pieces together and then insert it into the centre of the card. And that is our second card finished. So I hope you like the sweet little stocking stamp set as much as I do. I'll just go over that, just give it a better crease. And it will look beautiful in any colours. I'm looking forward to making many more of these cards. So I do hope you join me again very soon, and thank you for watching, and I will be back shortly with another project. So until then, thank you very much and bye bye.